What's going on, everyone? We're here to go over the Sickest raid fight and explain the mechanics one by one as they happen for you so you can have a little bit of a better understanding of this fight. And if you find yourself in a situation where you have to pug it because you don't have a guild group or a dedicated group to run it with, this will hopefully increase your chances of being able to clear it, just because you will be one more person in that raid group that understands how this fight works. For the most part, Sickest is relatively straightforward as a raid fight. It's not super complicated once you do understand it, but he does have a couple mechanics that are, one, reliant on there being, at least 5 people in your group alive, and 2, people being able to have screen awareness and see the text pop up for certain prompts, because if people mess up one of these mechanics, it's going to be guaranteed death for everybody else, kind of thing. So it is a little more difficult when you don't have comms for some of this. It requires everybody to be aware of what's going on. But as long as you have 5 people alive, it's very much so doable. You can do it with less, but it is more complex at that point, more difficult. Not necessarily more complex, but definitely more challenging. But we'll talk about that as it goes on. So the first thing that we're going to see here in the video, as you can see, we got the recording started a little late. I do apologize for that. But the beginning of the fight is mostly him just going through some basic attacks, frontal AoE, conal attacks, some swipes, things like that. The first real raid mechanic that you're going to encounter is going to be around this HP range, where he's going to be in the middle. He's going to turn downward, and it's going to do, you're going to see a word prompt that says Sickest bares his teeth, and he's going to stun everybody. Preferably, you want people to be, all on the same screen area so that you can see one another, because what it's going to do is you're all going to get stunned, and it is going to trap half of your raid group. So 4 people are going to get trapped. We got 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then there's 1 actually down here behind my camera. Known as, okay, so our 4 people are trapped here, and the other people in your group have to free you. At the same time, there is a barrier that appears on Sickest's HP bar right here, okay? So this comes out, and you're going to have people get unstunned, okay? First thing they do is free you. They have to DPS, free you out, and then you DPS Sickest to break the barrier. And once you break the barrier, he becomes dazed for a moment, and this is an opportunity for you to get free, just completely uncontested DPS on him. So if you have any specific cooldowns like Fighter's Wrath or something, this is the time to pop it, because there's going to be no mechanics. Now, right there, okay, it's very subtle, but you'll notice we have these poison puddles underneath us. This kills so many people, okay? But right here, this is the visual prompt for it. You see where the poison cloud comes out around him? It doesn't matter where you are in the room. It's going to be like a little poison suck-in that he does to himself, or spread out that he does right there. And it is going to put this poison puddle underneath a character, multiple people on your raid group, all right? And it has a little debuff icon right here on your UI bar, so you can see when you have it, and you can see when it's going to run out, okay? And you're going to move away, ideally away from the boss, so that it doesn't drop on the raid boss. All right, so you can see Rek has it here, I have it here. We both move away from the group. We drop our poison puddles. Boom. These do incredibly large amounts of ticking poison damage. If you are not paying attention, these will kill you very quickly. Note the bodies on the ground over here in the corner. This happened to one of our members. They were standing in their puddle. Now, we'll go back to the boss here. This is the next AoE area mechanic. He's going to spit up a bunch of poison balls that are going to leave overlapping AoEs like this. Just find one of the open spaces. Sometimes it can be a little tight. Just make sure that you're not, if you do get hit by one, make sure you don't get hit by any of the ones that are overlapping and you get hit by 2. Even if you get hit by 1, as long as you're poison capped, you have very good chances of surviving. But you should be able to find space. But now, see, he just does a few frontal basic mechanics, basic attacks, not anything crazy. Now, this slam right here, okay? This one right here, this is going to cause a lot of deaths, and it has a couple variances to it. So this giant pizza conal that he has here, This can actually be broken up into different segments. So he could actually have it where there's a gap in between, and there can be a split with an open area. So where, you know, there could be red over here and a split here and then like another split here and things like that. It can come in different shapes, but it's going to typically add up to the same amount of spacing here, right? About not exactly, but about 270 degrees angle of AoE overlap. This is when you need to use your movement to get to the open space that is safe. All right. Now, even if you get to this safe area that is, you know, not clear, I want to note something. If you are standing anywhere around here, even though it's not anywhere where there is AoE coverage being shown for the telegraph, there's no telegraph covering the immediate area behind him. If you are within a certain amount of melee distance to his body on this slam, you will still get hit by a physical damage element of the slam that comes from his body, and it hurts a lot. It does a lot of damage, and it is very misleading. So you always want to be away from his body no matter what. It doesn't matter if you are in this bit that is no telegraph. There's no telegraph in this area at all. If you are close to the body, you will get hit by a physical slam element. Okay? So that is one of the things to watch out for. It does do a lot of damage, so just be aware of that and be careful. Overall, that for the most part is almost the entirety of the mechanics. There's one really key mechanic now coming up very soon. You have to look for a visual prompt for it. Right here, it's going to happen in the middle of your screen above your character. It says Sickis spits out its stomach. This is the raid wipe mechanic, okay? And this is an annoying mechanic, especially if you're not in comms, because if people aren't paying attention, they will mess this up. All right. He's going to spit out his stomach. It's going to be this gross thing that comes out right here. Okay. Everybody has to be looking for it. You have to be looking for it. It's going to come out of his body, and it is immediately going to start running away from you. It's already almost dead. It has very little HP. So people, you know, this is where it can be a little dicey with some people running sentries. Sentries could kill it very fast. Okay. It is going to run away, and it is going to keep moving. Sometimes it'll stop, but other times, you know, it'll stop and everybody's going to get there, and then it could move again. All right. You need to be ready to move. There it goes right there. We just had everybody get over there. It went to move. I'm in Discord calling this out, telling people to not DPS, telling everybody to get over here. All right. You have a good bit of time, so don't rush it. It's not a super rushed mechanic, but it is important that people are getting to it and getting organized. All right. So now that we get everybody over here for the most part, and we get all around it, we kill it. You have to kill it, and everybody needs to be stacked within a certain amount of distance to it, because it is going to put this poison barrier around you when you kill it. And that is going to give you protection from Sickis's wipe mechanic right here. If you do not have the barrier on you when Sickis does this, you die. It is death. Nothing to stop it. You will die. All right. And so now Sickis is under 50% HP, and we're going to begin the second phase of the fight. The second phase of the fight, fortunately, is exactly the same as the first phase. It's just things are sped up a little bit. He's going to do his mechanics a little bit faster and a little bit more frequently, but we have pretty good DPS, so we're still going to kill him pretty fast. There's the puddle mechanic again, as you can see, and right there, you know, we ate a few ticks of it, but it ticks down very quickly. The AoE ring circles now, okay? You notice these do change a little bit, okay? These do change. Now, instead of them all happening at the same time, they are going to come out one after another in a staggered format and try to disrupt your movement. You will have to move more than once. So previously, they all happened at the same time. You just had to find one safe spot. Now they're going to happen multiple times, okay? And they are going to, you know, overlap here and there, and you're going to have to move a couple different times to find your safe spaces, and he'll do it more than once. All right. But aside from that, then, you know, it's just a few of his basic frontal attacks. His just regular basic frontal attacks aren't a huge deal. They're not super dangerous, but that again is the slam there. So even though this is a much better angle to show you actually, so even though right here, he's going to do this giant pizza slice slam. Okay. All right. See, it's about 200, it's about 270-degree angle. We got 90 degrees here. That's free. If we were to stand right here, okay, on his body, even though we're not in the telegraph, okay, even though you're not in the telegraph, if you stand here, you will still get hit by a base area physical slam that comes from his body. So you want to back up off of his body no matter what, or it is going to still hit you and it is going to hurt. Okay. So, it's a few basic frontal attacks. We're going to have Sickis baring his teeth right there. So boom, see, he immediately turns, faces downward, bares his teeth. We have 5 people alive here, so we're all good. We're going to have 4 people be stunned right here, and then they're going to break us out. So there we go. And now we just go back to DPSing him. Right there, what somebody said in my group, this is still up for debate. My illusion breaks prison. Don't rely on this. This is something that people have talked about. This would be one of the things where illusion axes, some people have said that it's broken the prison for them. Other people have said that it disables their illusion axes when they get stunned in the prison. But alternatives, so this is one of those things where if you find yourself where, there's only 4 of you left, that means everybody's going to get prison trapped. You do have a moment to react to it saying Sickis bares his teeth. If you have something like Poison Puddle or some other base ground AoE, you can cast that on the ground before you, and it will break the prison afterwards when the stun ends. So that is a way around it. Now, again, they say illusion axes are breaking the prison for them. I've gotten mixed results and answers about this, so, feel free to try it out yourself. Let me know how it goes for you. So that goes on, and that's pretty much the fight right there, okay? This fight itself is, when everybody's alive for the most part and people are doing the mechanics, right? There's the Poison Puddle again. The fight goes very fast, okay? It's a very quick fight when everybody's on the same page and doing what they're supposed to do. But, so, one more time, he gets low here, and he's going to bare his teeth once more. Not bare his teeth. He's going to spit out his stomach one more time. It is important that, hey, stop DPS, kill the stomach, be safe about it. All right. Don't get tunnel vision. You don't want to ruin it for yourself and your teammates. There comes the stomach. Have everybody stop DPS if possible. Follow the stomach around. See, there it goes, changing directions on us and constantly moving. You got to chase it around. You have to be ready to react to it and chase it around. Don't be content thinking that you're good to go. All right. And so, boom, there he goes. It's honestly a very straightforward fight, all in all, once you get it down. But that stomach mechanic is going to be what ends it for most groups a lot of the time. It is very annoying to deal with when you're not in comms and being coordinated about it. So when you're in a pug group, it does require everyone to have very good awareness and understanding of how it works. But after that, as long as people are alive, it's pretty easy to deal with. It's not super difficult in that regard. Don't stand in the bad stuff, drop the AoEs away from the party, and, live. And then, everybody be stacked on stomach. It's pretty straightforward in that regard, but I wanted to show you all of the key mechanics of the fight and, hopefully help you understand it a little bit more. And how it works, but that's Sickis. He's pretty chill once you get him down. But if you have any other additional questions about this fight or anything like that, don't be afraid to come into our Twitch chat and ask us there. I'll be more than happy to explain anything that I might have missed or maybe wasn't clear enough about. But until then, take care, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.